No.1. Up next on today's beer review, we're going to be looking at Ebbs Stout No.1, and this is coming in at 6.7% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome on to today's beer review, and today we are looking at Ebbs Stout No.1, and this is coming in at 6.7% alcohol, and it says it is rich, silky, and smooth, and it says it is brewed and canned by Semb, S-E-M-B, in Flushing, New York, and that's literally all that's on the can. Now, why did I get it? Because it said Stout No.1, and I review a lot of stouts. Now, clearly not a super high ABV stout, coming in at 6.7. But to be quite honest, just opening the can and the bar is filled with this nice roasty smell. So that's actually a really good sign, especially considering it's only 6.7. Now I am using my trusty Guinness glass so you get a good view of the pour. I'm hoping I got the water spots off. All right, let's see. It pours a nice dark brown. Not super carbonated. Even with my sort of like ham-fisted pour, you know, not overwhelming. About a pinky's worth of head. It has a really interesting nose. So there's sort of the coffee that you would expect to be there, which is good. There is the roast from that coffee that's there. I'm also getting like some chocolate. Actually, I've got to fix this. I'm going to pause here for a second. Cut, we come back. I lost the light. I got to plug an alternate in. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, folks. My main light went out and I just had to put up a secondary. So let's go back to the nose, which has slowly been filling the bar while I do this. You have that good coffee roast. There's definitely some chocolate there, but it's more of that malted, roasty aroma that you get with, you know, a solid stout. That's really good. Okay, so is it the most earth-shattering stout I've ever had? No, it's not, but what it is really good and really flavorful. Front of the tongue, you get that good coffee taste to it. The roast continues mid-tongue, and then as you swallow, you know, coming back to the actual swallow where you sort of take that breath in as you swallow, and there's just a hint of that of that chocolate sort of on the back end. And it's almost like a bittersweet type of chocolate. It's definitely not a dessert stout, but as far as like what I would consider damn near a perfect representation of this style of beer, I think they really knock it out of the park with this. There's a very nice bitterness on the very back of the tongue that sort of ties everything together and makes it this just sort of beautiful, sort of mellow, just, I don't know, sort of like palette of flavors that sort of mix together. And it really is just a very good stout. And you know, the carbonation is a little higher than I'd like, but to be honest, it does the job on the back end of sort of opening up that flavor. There's something else. And I just can't isolate the flavor. Yeah, that chocolate is sort of bittersweet. Now, I don't want to mistakenly say that this is a sweet stout. It's not a sweet stout at all. It's a well-balanced, easy drinking stout, and it's 6.7% alcohol. You're not getting any burn either, which is very nice. Not that there should be a particularly large burn at 6.7, but there's none here, which is great. This is one that you could drink with a barbecue, you could drink with a winter meal, you could drink anytime, and it would be really just a solid drinking stout. In fact, to use a larger beer, it reminds me vaguely, and I mean this as the an utmost compliment to this beer, reminds me vaguely of the Left Hand Nitro if it were not nitro but carbonated. Sort of that good, very rich, very creamy coffee flavor that's there. But again, it's clearly carbonated, so the carbon dioxide sort of cuts down on how smooth it could be. But as is, this is just a wonderful example of a really nicely put together stout. So would I buy Ebbs Stout #1 again? In a second. I'd buy a 4-pack, a 6-pack, whatever. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I don't recall this being a particularly expensive beer. So definitely one that I would consider purchasing again. And not only purchasing again, but recommending to anybody who likes the flavor profile of a good, well-crafted stout. So once again, that's Ebbs Stout #1, coming in at 6.7% ABV, and it is brewed and canned by SEMB-CF in Flushing, New York. And again, would I buy this again? Absolutely. Wonderful example of a really, really good stout. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, share the channel with others. The channel is slowly growing. We've broken 300 subscribers, which is really cool. I'd like to continue that trend as we move forward. And, appreciate the support. Hey, folks, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the rest of this one. Cheers.